just a quick note before we start today's video. This video is gonna be about explaining the terms used in the previous video, which was basically an explanation of the procedure for an aircraft takeoff. Never mind about the aviation jargon I might have used then. It's just about the same case when you read a book. You don't need to understand every word. You only need to get the context or the overall idea of what the sentences or the paragraphs are all about. Same case here. But for the purposes of absolute clarity, I'm gonna revisit just a few aviation terms in that video. So in fact, I feel obligated to do so. So welcome to my vlog once again. Thank you. So what does it mean when we say a pilot is taxiing on the runway? Taxiing is the movement of an aircraft on the ground under its own power, in contrast to towing or pushback, where the aircraft is moved by a taskmaster. The aircraft usually moves on wheels, but this term also includes aircraft with skis or floats, that is for water-based aircrafts. So number 2, the term autopilot. What does that mean? First, note that the term autopilot is a short form for automatic pilot. In general, just before I undertake to explain this term in the technical sense, let's examine the word as a phrase in English language. Funny, but a human being can also be on autopilot. So, but what does that mean in the English terms? It means the particular individual is acting without thinking about what he's doing, usually because that individual has done it many times before. In technical terms, though, autopilot is an equipment on an aircraft that allows it to continue flying in the correct direction by itself without needing the pilot to control it. The third term is takeoff trim. Aircraft trim is essentially an adjustment to the control surfaces, but we can just replace the word trim with adjust and get a similar meaning. When we trim an aircraft for takeoff, we are adjusting one or more of the movable control surfaces, so the pilot doesn't need to hold them with physical strength and can focus elsewhere. Without the proper use of trim, in the case of our takeoff, we said it will be 15%. Holding and maintaining control surfaces manually can lead to erratic flight paths and the pilot can get fatigued. And trust me, we don't want that to happen. Number 4 is takeoff flaps. These are small surface mounted devices, and these are mounted on the wings of an aircraft. They help to produce more lift during takeoff, therefore shortening the amount of runway length needed for takeoff. Number 5 is V speeds. Here we've got V1 speed, otherwise takeoff decision speed. This is the maximum speed at which the pilot can stop the aircraft on the runway in case of a cancelled takeoff. Number 2 is V2 speed, takeoff safety speed. If one engine fails, in case the aircraft is a multi-engine during takeoff, this is the speed at which the disabled aircraft can still safely land. Number 3 is VR speed, V rotation speed. This is the speed at which the rotation of the aircraft should be initiated to take off altitude. It's important to note that the rotation speed cannot be less than V1. Number 6 is runway designation. In accordance with ICAO, a runway designation consists of a 2-digit number. On a parallel runway, this digit is supplemented with a letter. On a single runway, dual runway, and triple runway, the 2-digit number shall be the whole number nearest the 1/10th of the magnetic north when viewed from the direction of approach. Where the above rule would give a single-digit number, it shall be preceded by a 0. So that based on the compass direction, 360 represents north, runway 36, 90 represents east, runway 09, 180 represents south, runway 18, and 270 represents west, runway 27. In short, the runway numbers mean endings. Number 6, strobe lights and landing lights. Strobe lights are flashing white lights on the farthest end and right of an aircraft. On bigger aircraft, these lights could be on the vertical stabilizer points or empennage points. They are the brightest lights on the aircraft and are used, 1, to signal that an aircraft is entering or approaching an active runway, and 2, for visibility in darkness. Landing lights are lights mounted on the aircraft that illuminates the terrain and runway ahead during takeoff and landing. They are used as collision avoidance measures against other aircrafts and bird strikes. Number 7, throttle power. Here, we don't need too much explanation. In the flight deck of an aircraft, we have a throttle lever, more often referred to as the power lever. By advancing or retarding this lever, the pilot is able to control the fuel provided to the engines and therefore the power of the aircraft. Number 8 is landing gear, otherwise the undercarriage. This is the part of the aircraft that supports the weight of an aircraft when in contact with land or water. Number 9 is the term 400 AGL. In full, 400 feet AGL essentially means above ground level. So hit the subscribe button below and support the channel. Until next time, bye.